里整理澳洲知识，带你探索澳洲文化。大家好，我是 Jen。相信说到在雪梨要去哪里吃新鲜的生蚝，很多人都会想到雪梨市区附近的 Fish Market， 因为那边是雪梨著名的景点。但是实际上呢，在雪梨的郊区有很多生蚝农场。那今天 Jen 就来到了其中一家生蚝农场，位在雪梨北边的 Mooney， 要来带大家探索新鲜的生蚝是什么样的滋味。然后也很荣幸会邀请到这边的老板，然后他会带我们去参观，就是生蚝工厂生产的流程，然后还会帮我们演示怎么开生蚝。那我们就欢迎 Deb。Hi,
how are you?
Good. Hi
everyone.
Hello. Do you mind give us a short intro about this place?
Okay, so this is Hawke's River Oyster Shed, and we've been established now coming on to 5 years.
Oh.
We built this primarily because we lost all our oysters in 2012 due to a disease that came through, and it wiped us out. So it was either get out of the business or try and do it so that we could on-sell our product and start over again, because it takes at least 2 to 3 years to grow the Sydney rock into a prime condition, and so that's why we decided we'll on-sell our product.
Right.
Yeah.
2 to 3 is a long time.
It is, isn't it? And you eat them in about 2 seconds.
Deb, can you take us around and then have a look at this place?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where we serve the food. We order here and we serve Sydney rock. So we have Sydney rocks, topped oysters. We get local lobster in, local cheeses. You're lucky today we've got local prawns because we don't always have those. These are straight out of the river as well. And then you get to come and sit down. We do have a bit of a clean-up station as well, because we recycle the prawn shells and the oyster shells. So as you can see on the ground here, this is all oyster shell here, the white one. Yeah, so we cycle it. People can buy it for vineyards and chickens. They like it for chickens as well, that type of thing, because it is full lime. Yeah, and then you can look at this gorgeous view as well.
Yeah, amazing view out here.
It's lovely, isn't it? That's one of our oyster leases out, out the front there. That's where we grow the babies, out that way. Yeah.
And then it takes, like you say, 2 to
3 years to grow.
Wow.
Yeah, so we try and buy in around 1 million oysters a year.
Oh, really?
But they don't all survive, obviously. But you have to keep buying them in.
It's good knowledge to know.
Absolutely. And I'll show you in a minute what baskets that they go into. This is Emily.
Hello.
Emily's going to show you how to shuck oysters today.
Some people actually open it from that side,
Oh,
but we open it this way
right.
because we find that it's quicker. So you come in, there's a natural depression in the oyster. You kind of see where it pops back up there. I'm going to put my knife in where that natural depression is, so I can go straight down, have my knife flush to the bottom of the oyster where the muscle is, so if you cut that off, then your oyster's going to naturally lift up, and then you're going to cut it off the top. So if we go straight down here, and keep my knife down the back of the oyster so it's flat down here, give it a wiggle, and it will just open.
Open.
That's it. Open the oyster up.
Right. And then you cut it through again.
So then that's still attached to that lid. So we cut that there,
That.
and
Right.
just flip it in.
Yay!
And then it looks pretty.
So how many oysters do you have to practice until you like kind of so efficient at this?
It takes a while. Some people don't get it. Some people never pick it up.
This is like a talent.
Kind of left-handed.
Oh.
Your hands get awkward. Left-handed.
Okay, so I'll give you get a little knife. There's a knife. I'll give you that one, and I'll try and get a nice easy one to open up. It doesn't look too bad. Maybe even this one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll do it as well at the
show
same time.
me.
Okay, put it in that little hole there. Put it just in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so remember what Em said? So you push down. So you push down first, okay? So,
Whoa.
how about I do the hole?
Natural depression.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the hole there.
Okay.
All right. So you put your knife in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So then what we do is we cup the oyster, and then you wiggle the oyster, not the knife. So wiggle the oyster and scrape it down the bottom as you're going in, underneath. Remember Em said right down low? And then oyster pops open, just like that, see? That's it. So before you open it right up, just have a quick look. Oops. Just have a quick look to make sure it's cut off the edge, but yeah, that's good. Yeah, open it up. There you go.
Wow!
Ta-da!
Yay! Thank you so much.
That's all right. And then keep that shell. You got to keep your shell.
Oh, okay.
You got to.
Put it there.
Put your shell down for a minute. Get your oyster. Turn it around this way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. And then what you do is you get it from under there like this, and you cut it off like that.
Like that?
Yep. And then you put him in the shell. So when you're looking at it,
didn't cut off. Okay. Yeah.
so that's mine. See how pretty mine looks?
Yeah.
Look at yours. We'll try and fix him up.
Has she got a job yet?
No, not yet, but I reckon she did all right.
Oh, okay.
See how the frill, you got to keep looking nice and pretty
Right.
to have all the frill out around the edge. Otherwise, if it's all mangled up and around the wrong way,
It looks very
it doesn't look
ugly.
as nice.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yay! Thank you so much.
You can eat that one, and you can have that one.
Come shuck for us at Christmas now.
Yeah.
How many dozen can you do in a day?
So I haven't completely finished this. This is work in progress, but we're want to do a timeline of oyster farming so that you can see how it progressed throughout the years. So obviously that's when they're picking them, Aboriginals, and then we've got, I haven't even got them in order really. Then they start using, these were mangrove sticks. That they used to cut down the mangrove trees and then grow the oysters on the mangrove sticks.
Oh, so this is how they grow.
That's how it used to
All right.
do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Nowadays, this is our process. Everyone's got a different process. This is an expensive process in the fact that these died because they got left in one of these baskets. So what happens is you buy spat, which is smaller than this usually. These are sort of growing, and this should have been taken out, graded, and then put into one of these baskets because they would have been able to just float around naturally and not be in one of these nets. So they stay in one of these depending on how quick they grow and the temperature of the water. So it could be up to 3 to 6 months. So depending on how well they're growing. And then we put them in these, and there's different grades. See how the holes get bigger as well?
Oh, yeah, so they're like tiny.
Yeah, so obviously you can't put these in one of those because you'd lose them all.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So like you kind of move them.
Yeah, so we try and sort them about 3 times. Hopefully only that. If you don't put too many in the baskets or on the trays, then you don't have to resort them. You just bring them out and grade them as such. So you've got the smaller ones, larger ones. So cocktail, bistro and plate oysters. So the different size oysters.
Right.
Yeah. Some people use these ones as well. So these ones here flip over. So you either have them up if you have them down like this, they're in the water. So all the oysters are in the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then what happens is to dry them out, you flip it over the other way so it's sitting on the floats. So the oysters dry out. Because the oysters like to dry, well, it's best to have them dried out so that it hardens their shells as well. It makes them a lot tougher.
So how do you dry those with?
These that's why the tide goes up and down. So when the tide's up, these are underwater. When the tide goes down, they're exposed, and then you can go and work on them on the leases. Yeah.
So
They
there's
just
different
swing
ways
on.
to do it.
That's it. I might take you down the back if you like, and see if the boys are working on some oyster farming.
Yes, please.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
So how long did it take for you to like figure out what kind of method to use? Is it like trial and error? And then...
Not so much trial and error. It's just progressed along the years, really.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's just sort of like keeping up with the time. There's a new system now called the flip farm system. So
Flip farm.
it's flip farm system. So you don't need as much infrastructure. So a lot of the oyster farms, a lot of posts and rails, lots of posts and rails, hundreds of posts and rails. Whereas the flip farm is 2 posts and a long rope. That's the only infrastructure in the river. So in that respect, it's a lot more environmentally friendly. Hello, oyster farmers.
Hello.
This is Lee and Nick.
Hello.
So what this is doing is called culling, okay? Culling.
Okay.
So what they do is they're checking for dead oysters, and they're scraping off any barnacles or see other oysters. So you don't want, that doesn't look very nice as an oyster. And see that had another oyster growing on the back?
Oh.
And you don't want that either, because they can become a great big mess if they just sort of grow other little oysters on top of them. And this is all mussel growth, so that's all got to be cleaned off as well. Mick taps them, and if they sound hollow, they're dead.
Oh.
So
okay.
he gives a quick tap. So if it doesn't, see,
So
hear
that's
that?
a hollow. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what's the real one sound like?
Real one?
So it doesn't sound hollow.
Right. Oh, so it's empty.
Yep.
Sometimes they're empty, sometimes they're just opened up as well. As much as you buy all the oysters, they don't all survive.
Wow. Yeah. So do you know like how much, like percentage-wise, how much will survive usually?
What would you say, Mick?
Sorry,
What percentage of dead do you reckon? 20%? 30%? We've had a lot of dead.
Yeah, these are pretty good, but it does get up to 20-30%.
Yeah.
How do you know like what is the size where you think?
Look,
this is
some
good?
people think that's a good size, but see, that's a nice size.
Oh.
You want them like that?
Yeah,
Get them out
that's
to grow
another
bigger.
one.
If we send the small ones up the shop, they'd get spanky.
You eat all the good ones. and the big ones.
Absolutely. Yeah, quality control.
Yeah. So, thank you guys.
These are the baskets that we use for the flip farm system. That's
so
where the big
new
rope
one.
goes over into it. And then what we do is we flip them over like this. So that they're drinking like that. And then we go along in the boat and we flip them back over the other way. And then they get out of the water because the float's in the water. And they can dry out a bit.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. They only flip it once and then you flip it back again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can have them out of the water about 4 days or so.
Uh-huh.
And then goes back along. We've got a machine. This is our grading machine. The holes in this one, if they're any bigger, they come out the end. So if they're small like this, they shoot down here. If they're larger than these ones, they come out the end. So it's quite easy. And then this, we bring our boat in here, but as you can see, the tide's going out.
Yeah.
So we can't do that. Pete, I might just go over to Mooney. Tide's quite out. Yeah? You want to go out on the river?
Yes. So excited.
Okay, let's go. So you never eat an oyster. Never eat an oyster if it's open like that.
Oh.
So don't try and open it and then eat it.
Right.
Just don't
Because
ever
it's dead.
don't eat it. Yeah, because it's dead.
No. Okay.